Hello and welcome to HawkFeed. I'm Krisha Agrawal and today we are going to talk about an Indian news startup co-founded by a group of journalists which seeks to disrupt how people follow news and what they consume, has raised funds and it prepares to accelerate its growth and broaden its offering. The Signal is aiming to serve a need for the modern pace of life where everybody is busy, said Dinesh Narayanan, its co-founder and editor, in an interview. People still want to keep up with what's happening in the world. They can read newspapers or multiple news outlets, but obviously they don't have the time to do it. The Noida headquartered startup has been attempting to solve this with an eponymous newsletter and podcast where it curates, produces, and discusses what they argue are the most important developments from the world of business, technology, economy, and policy. The newsletter email, which goes out 6 times a week, features nearly a dozen stories in each edition and deep dives into 2 or 3 major items, offering additional context and commentary on a team of journalists who have previously worked at newsrooms including The Economic Times, The Quint, Your Story, The Morning Context, and Reuters. Signal says it is aiming to serve savvy audiences in India and beyond. It has amassed more than 38,000 subscribers, a base that includes several unicorn founders, lawmakers, and policy executives. Its newsletter goes out at 8 a.m. and asks just 5 to 7 minutes of readers' time. The startup, which plans to expand its coverage into more areas, including sports, and launch newer products, isn't currently charging its readers and listeners. Instead, most newsletter editions are currently backed by big-name sponsors. Everybody talks about this total addressable market, right? Nobody really knows what exactly it is today because you have a population of probably about 150 to 200 million people who can afford to pay. There are so many avenues available to people which is giving them free news. It is a very small sliver of the audience which would actually pay. So some of them would be paying because it's good journalism. Some of them would be paying because they give exactly the amount of news which they want. And some of them would be paying for the depth of content. I think the existing players are already competing for the rather small pie. Each Saturday, Signal publishes original stories in a newsletter called The Intersection. Several journalists in the country have left their influential jobs at top media houses in recent years to build something of their own as they grow frustrated at attempting to bring systematic changes to the way legacy outlets work, or have taken inspiration from a small flow in the US where journalists have traditionally shown more entrepreneurial instincts. But unlike the US and the UK, where several media venture founders have made successful exits, India is yet to demonstrate any. At the end of the day, the future of the Signal depends on the purchasing power per capita of the nation, Narayanan said. As the purchasing power increases and the consumption patterns change, purely on that basis, exits and the size of exits are a function of that. It's a business. Yeah, so it is definitely tied to the fortunes of the country as a whole. For now, that's not something the Signal needs to worry about. The startup said Monday it has raised a new funding round but did not disclose the size. The Signal's angel investors include Creds, Might and Sampath, Zomato, and others. Venkat, Patanjali, Dinesh, and Roshni P. Nair have authored some of the most important stories in India tech over past 5 years. And I'm very excited to see them build the Signal as a way to enable readers make sense of it all. India, and eventually the world, needs an outlet that goes beyond news flashes, and gets deep into nuanced report through a mix of curation, original writing, and new formats of sense making. Thank you. Please do subscribe to our channel, share the video, and have a great day ahead.